Hello everyone, this is Dr. Kalpana and you're watching my YouTube channel Pharmacy Lessons Made Easy. The topic for today's video is dilatant flow liquids, and we have already started and discussed with the Newtonian systems, and after that the plastic and pseudoplastic types. This one is dilatant flow. So let's start our discussion on the topic dilatant flow. Dilatant flow is one of the time-independent non-Newtonian type of fluid, as shown here. The third category under time-independent non-Newtonian fluids, that is dilatant, this one. And we shall, after that, we'll discuss about time-dependent non-Newtonian fluids, which include thixotropic, antithixotropic, and rheopexic. But today, we shall be studying about dilatant flow. So certain suspensions with high percentage of dispersed solid actually show such type of behavior, and the rheogram for this is like this. Here it is shown dilatant flow as compared to other like pseudoplastic, Newtonian and plastic flow. This one is quite different. So let's have a complete and a detailed study about it. Now the question is, what are dilatant fluids which show dilatant behavior? As I told you that high percentage of dispersed solids, they exhibit such flow behavior, and such systems actually increase in volume once they are sheared, and hence the term dilatant is used here to show their flow property. And it is totally inverse of the pseudoplastic system flow. If we are able to recall, we generally called pseudoplastic materials as shear thinning systems. On the other hand, dilatant systems are called shear thickening systems. So that is the main difference. When stress is removed, a dilatant system returns to its original state of fluidity. And the equation that we have gone through in the previous system, where it was described about the system where f raised to power n is equal to eta prime g. So here the value of capital N that we are using, this will always be less than 1. So you have to remember this. And this value will decrease as the degree of dilatancy increases. So as this value of n will approach 1, the system will become Newtonian in nature. Okay. So if we see its characteristics, such dilatant system will show an increase in resistance to flow with increase in rate of shear, and the reason for this is actually an increase in their volume once they are sheared, and that's why the term dilatant is there. It is shown by suspensions with high percentage of dispersed solids. The other name for dilatant flow is shear thickening systems, and when the stress is removed, the dilatant system returns to its original state of fluidity. So these are a few characteristics of dilatant flow property suspensions. Generally, the higher concentration, about 50% or more of the small deflocculated particles, show dilatant behavior, and at rest, these particles are actually closely packed with minimum interparticulate volume, which is also called void, and this amount of vehicle in the suspension is sufficient to fill the voids, and the particles at the same time can move relative to one another at the low rate of shear. So it is possible that a dilatant suspension can be poured from a bottle, because under these conditions it behaves as a fluid. But once we shake it, the shear stress is increased. So the bulk of the system will expand its volume, or you can say it will dilate. Okay, so now the particle will start moving quickly past each other, and it will be a kind of open form of packing. This will ultimately increase the void volume, but the amount of vehicle will be the same. So, what will happen as a result of it? The resistance to flow will increase, and the particles now will not be that much wetted or lubricated by the vehicle, because the amount of vehicle was the same, but the system expanded in terms of volume. So it will form a firm paste like consistency. Okay, so this type of dispersions are facilitated by using high speed mixers, blenders, or mills. Even these type of dilatant material may get solidified if we increase the shear. Okay, so that may even damage the mixing equipment also. So these were a few characteristics of dilatant flow, and I have elaborated each and every important point related to it. So if you have any doubt, any query, or a feedback, please write it in the comment section in the YouTube page itself. I shall be happy to receive your comments. Thank you everyone for your patient listening, and do click on the like button, subscribe my channel, and share it on social media. Thank you.